The Caravan Channel. Sponsored by Adrian Flux Insurance.
Welcome to the Caravan Channel.
And the Motorhome Channel.
Now, what better place to kick off a brand new series than here at the NEC for the annual Motorhome and Caravan Spectacular.
I'm checking out some hot new vans for next week's episode of the Motorhome Channel. So Al, see ya.
See you, Niall. Much more importantly for now, however, here's what we've got coming up in today's Caravan Channel. We take a look at a new Bailey Pegasus Moderner. Check out the Sprite Freedom range. Find out about something that may help cut the number of caravan thefts. And I look around a genuine world record holder. For generations of caravanners, Sprite has been their first introduction to touring, whether a new model or second-hand. And in recent years, since it was purchased by the Swift Group, the Sprite name has been the first rung on the Swift ladder. But recently, the Sprite models have moved up market slightly, this year characterised by them gaining a triple front window and a more prestigious feel inside. As a result, Swift has now launched this. It's the Sprite Freedom range. They're a series of affordable, lightweight caravans initially aimed at families. They're all 6 berths, starting with this, the twin-axle FB. Moving over here, we've got the Freedom 6, which features fixed bunks and a side dinette. And as you can see from the exterior, it features simple graphics, hubcaps instead of alloy wheels, so it's a cheaper finish, but it doesn't feel too cheap and nasty. Moving over here, we've got the Freedom 6 TD. There are 2 crucial numbers you need to know with the Freedom 6 TD. First, it costs £14,620, which pitches it straight against the likes of Adria's 6-berth Alteas. And second, it weighs in at 1,350 kilos fully laden. Now that's great, it means it can be pulled by a pretty ordinary family car. Great news if you've got a family. And of course, that's exactly who we're looking at with this van. It's a 6-berth, and it's got everything you could need inside, as long as you don't need an oven, of course, because there's not one of those. There's just a grill. There's a 3-burner hob, that 4th burner is blanked off, and there's plenty of space around the kitchen area for cooking for a family. There's a useful fridge, and I really like the fact they've put proper positive catches on all of the cupboard doors. Talking of cupboards, here there's a massive wardrobe, plenty of space for all the family's gear. Now up front here, you can really tell that you're in a budget caravan. There's that single pane front window, which personally I don't mind because it brings in lots of light, no sunroof, and of course a little table instead of a front chest of drawers. These cushions are a little bit flat, to be honest, but this is a very spacious lounge area. You can easily sit 6 around for dinner. And again, there's the odd nice detail. There's access to the underbunk storage from inside the van without having to lift up the cushions. The sofas themselves are just about long enough for kids at least to use them as single berths. But to be honest, this is mum and dad's zone. You simply pull out the slats and it makes a really big double bed. For the kids area, we need to move to the back. So from one lounge to another. Now we're completely in the kids zone. We've got a really nice dinette here which will seat 3 kids so they can have card games or play at the table. And then at night, it'll form a single bed with a fold-out bunk above. On the other side, there's a pair of fixed bunks, which are a pretty good size, quite narrow, but comfortable enough. And the kids will love the fact they each get their own light. Although it does seem a bit of a shame that the one on the lower bunk doesn't get a window. There's only one up top there. When you've had enough of the kids during the day, or if you want them to get to sleep at night, there's a screen that you can pull across to separate this area from the rest of the van. And that just leaves the bathroom. Surely there can't be space for a decent-sized bathroom in this van as well. In fact, it's remarkably spacious. There's plenty of room around the loo, there's a good-sized wash basin with a mirror, and although it's not fully lined and has some wheel arch intrusion, the shower cubicle is plenty big enough. As further proof of its family-friendly credentials, this particular Sprite Freedom is fitted with a bike rack. So if you're a family who are looking for an affordable, lightweight caravan, but don't fancy going into the used market, would like your first new van, the Sprite Freedom is definitely well worth a look. What's a caravanner's greatest fear? Well, for many of us, it's having our pride and joy stolen and losing it forever. Well, now the NCC has launched a new scheme called Vin Chip. It's designed to offer both a visual deterrent and an aid to recovering your van should the worst happen. I'm joined now by Sean Bailey from the NCC, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the scheme. Sean, hello.
Hello.
Can you tell me first of all about the visual prevention?
Certainly, part of the Vin Chip marking kit. So the first part, we have several parts of the kit that is visual. The first part would be the window lozenges. These are replacing what many Caravan owners know currently as the window etchings. Okay, so as you see, there's a strip here. These are placed on every single window of the Caravan, apart from any opaque bathroom windows and such like that. They each carry the unique VIN of the Caravan in a unique anti-fraud format. So no more problems with people changing a 5 to an S or a 6 to a 0 and such like that. These are provided for every single window. Again, on 2016 models and forward, it's on there as standard. Also, we have the window label. This places on the window very closest to the door. Again, this contains the 17-digit unique VIN, but also the QR code. And the QR code is a great thing we've added onto there. You can buy any smartphone, you can get any free QR code app, scan it, it takes you to a sort of dedicated page about that particular Caravan. No details about the owners or the keepers, just the Caravan. Make, model, range, and a whole host of other details that we can keep updated and add to as the time goes on without any change to the physical kit on the Caravan itself. Right. Also, to bring us in line with the Europeans, we also have the gas locker label. This is placed inside the gas locker on the back bulkhead. We recommend you place it on the top, so it's easily visible. We all know how gas lockers get occasionally after a few years' worth of use. Again, contains the VIN number and the unique QR code for the police traceable vehicle scheme. Those are the three clear, visible marking parts of the Vin Chip kit.
And they're tamper-proof labels, are they?
They are indeed. The longer these are on the windows and in the gas locker, the harder they are to take off. We also include the security cuts on all of them in case anyone tries to tamper with the labels in the first few days of application. After that, every day it's on there, it gets even harder to take off.
So those are the visible deterrents. What about the hidden schemes to help you recover the van if it gets stolen?
Well, the key part of that is the brand new RFID chip that we can place inside the Caravans. These are placed inside the Caravans. Inside you see the label. Inside there is the RFID chip. In there is the encrypted unique VIN of the Caravan, which can only be read using the brand new free equipment that we provide at free of charge to the police.
So you've got one of those with you?
Indeed we do. So we provide these to any police officer that passes our free training. Gives them insights into Caravan crime and all the other parts that we provide in the kit. These can read the VIN from outside the Caravan at a much greater range and a much greater speed than previously before.
Can you blip the chip and show me?
Certainly.
Oh, I see. So it's got its unique number on the screen there, so you know whose van it is and where it's from.
Yes, it does indeed. And from there, the police officer can use a fully connected device to carry out a crisp check to check if it's stolen or even if it should be on the road.
And you said earlier that all 2016 vans will have these. Are all UK manufacturers signed up?
All NCC member UK manufacturers signed up to use a Vin Chip scheme, replacing the old chemical etching.
And what about if you've got an older Caravan and you'd like the reassurance of adding it? Is that something you can do?
Certainly can. We urge anybody who takes the security of their Caravan seriously to use our upgrade kit. By contacting NCC Chris, you can get the upgrade kit for any Caravan, and the price is £24.99.
Well, that's a small price to pay for extra security, so what a great development. Thanks very much for telling us about it.
Thank you very much.
This is the new Bailey Pegasus Verona, and a very nice thing it is too. It's a classic near-side fixed bed model, and it's really quite pleasant. However, it's also really quite big. It weighs in at 1,450 kilos when it's fully laden. Now, bearing in mind that it's a couple's van, that really is quite hefty if all you've got to tow it is a VW Golf or a Ford Focus. So what do you do if you've got that kind of tow car, but you really fancy a fixed bed? Well, the answer is just over here. It's the Bailey Pegasus Moderna. It's a useful 175 kilos lighter than the Verona, so it should be within reach of an ordinary VW Golf or a similar sized hatchback at 1,350 kilos. It's also, rather helpfully, £1,000 cheaper than the Verona, yet it shares its near-side fixed bed layout with a front lounge and an end washroom. It looks a whole lot fresher than the 2015 Pegasus, with these white sidewalls replacing the rather dated Magnolia, and the new graphics much better integrating that tall front window, which is one of the USPs of the model. It means that the interior feels really lovely and light, as we'll find out now. And here you have it. It's a great view out, even if you're standing up, which is highly unusual. The lounge itself is pretty good. This is a van designed for two people, so it's plenty spacious enough. Although I think if you had a family in here, it might feel a little bit tight. Bailey have got rid of the front chest to add a bit of extra space, but there is a little coffee table that pops here, so there's somewhere to put your snacks. And of course, there's a freestanding table in the cupboard, which you can bring out when you're having your meals. The lounge features Bailey's new Dream Sleep system, which is produced by Belfield, and it means you get a fantastic sofa with a domestic-style high back during the day, but at night it's easier to produce a really comfortable double bed. Chances are, however, that this double bed is really only for guests. The real deal is towards the back of the van. Back here it's a relatively conventional fixed bed layout. We've got a 6'3" double, which incidentally is the same size as that front bed, and the usual cutaway down the side to help you walk through to the washroom. In fact, in the Modena, that cutaway is a little bit bigger than it is in the Verona, but not so much that you'd notice. There's also masses of storage. We've got lockers around the top, a huge void beneath the bed, which obviously you want to avoid overfilling, otherwise you could upset the rig on tow, and opposite, a wardrobe and a rather neat storage point for that front dining table beneath the vanity mirror here. Moving forward to the kitchen, it's all fairly tight, but it's very neatly packaged. There's a separate oven and grill, a dual fuel 4-burner hob, and a good sized sink. Although there's not a vast amount of workspace here, there are 2 extra options. There's a lift-up flap at the front, and on the other side, a really good sized sideboard. Plenty of space to prepare your veg and things. It's also going to be improved. Bailey have just told me that they're planning to lift it up to give a better height to cut on, and underneath they're going to put a cutlery drawer, which is currently missing from this kitchen area. Although there are a couple of shelves on the end here, there isn't any storage beneath, and that's because that is where Bailey has put the gas bottles for this van, in the centre to help it balance on tow. It's good to see 2 proper sockets in the kitchen and usefully sited Truma gas controller. However, I'd rather the microwave wasn't sited quite so high and directly over the cooker. Amazingly, the L-shaped washroom is exactly the same size as that in the Verona, which means there's plenty of room. Your knees might be a little bit tight to the vanity unit when you're on the loo, but otherwise it feels pretty spacious, and there's a huge fully lined shower cubicle. Like all Pegasus models, the Modena features Bailey's Alutech construction system, and for less than £17,000 it's pretty well equipped. It's got Truma combi heating, an external 230-volt socket and alloy wheels. It does, however, lack the Alco ATC system for 2016, which has been lost in the makeover. That said, I reckon if you're a couple looking for a compact fixed bed van, this really ought to be on your shortlist.
Adrian Flux Insurance, proud sponsors of the Caravan channel.